Now, let's look at the last three external factors influencing consumer choice. Social groups. Social groups often belong to the same economic class, but not always. However, they do live in similar geographic areas. The geography is critical. Middle-class Southerners have very different purchasing patterns from middle-class Midwesterners. Since we tend to socialize with people like ourselves, social groups also tend to share similar physical attributes, such as age and race. Because of the additional impact of shared geography and personal contact, social groups can have a greater influence on consumption than economic class alone. For example, the consumption patterns of preteen girls tend to cross class boundaries. Lower, middle, and upper economic class preteens want the same thing as their social group peers. These external factors can often merge into a single powerful influence. For example, a bounded culture in the same economic class and geographic area can be a strong motivator. The appeal of these combined factors is so strong, marketers often use representatives of social groups to advertise mainstream products, such as this ad for Kraft dressing. Hennessy is a good example of combining multiple external factors. These men are all in the same economic class, they live in the same geographic area, their age and race are similar, they appear to be watching a sporting event, so they're part of a reference group. Finally, they have personal relationships with each other and are clearly friends. Reference groups are people with shared interests. The shared interests hold the group together, not economic class or social group forces. Students is probably too broad a group to be considered a reference group. However, nursing or art or business majors would be examples. Musicians are too broad a reference group, but my son is part of the reference group, guitarists. The opinions of the members of that group heavily influence his guitar purchases. Celebrities endorsing products within their reference group are very powerful motivators. The final factor is family and friends. Family would be your relatives and the people living together in your household. This factor combines the information sharing of reference groups with emotional linkage. For example, 80% of sons vote like their father. The majority of women in their 20s purchase the same feminine products as their mother. We talked about this with the Breck Girl ad, and this ad for 3 generations of Ivory soap also shows the influence of households. That's why media relies so heavily on word of mouth. A friend recommending a movie, a musician, a video game is a powerful motivator. Social media is the newest channel influencing consumption through word of mouth. Of course, bad word of mouth can kill consumption. In the last part of Module 5, we'll look at the internal forces influencing consumption.